Hey there, blog buddies. Did you know that me and Jane Fonda have something in common? Well, we love a good exercise video. So, I'll give you a warning though. If you're already a marathon runner or Olympic athlete, perhaps you should look away. But if you're a person who perhaps has an interest in exercise or think you might like to take it up at some stage, well, hang in there and hear my story. See, it all started 50 years ago, 1975, Brea, California, just outside of Los Angeles. I'm working at the Union Oil Research Center. I get a memo, and the memo says, an appointment has been made for you at such and such a medical facility for a health checkup, a free health checkup. So I thought, hey, free, so I'm off. So when I turned up at the appointed time, appointed place, turns out that this isn't just your normal health checkup like you'd get at the GP. Oh no. This is a heart stress test done on a treadmill while it's connected to an ECG. Yes. If you're going to take up exercise, actually, this is the way to start. This wasn't my idea. I just got the memo, you know. Anyway, the nurse hooks me up to this ECG machine, put me on a treadmill, run me around for a while, set me down, rest, still wired up. Eventually, I'm summoned into the doctor's office. He looks at the results, and he says, "You are a prime heart attack candidate. Keep doing what you're doing, and by the time you're 50, you'll have your heart attack." My heart attack. My heart attack. I don't want my goddamn heart attack, or anybody's heart attack. He gives me a little brochure. I think it's from the Food and Drug Administration, a little government brochure. Has exercise advice on it. It's very simple. A minimum of 20 minutes of vigorous physical exercise, such as running or swimming, a minimum of 3 times a week. Anyway, I go home. I think about it for a while, and I think, well, vigorous physical exercise, such as running or swimming, I haven't got a swimming pool. That pretty well narrows it down to running. Minimum of 20 minutes. Minimum of 3 times a week. Why not? So, the next day, off I go. Well, in retrospect, I shouldn't have done that. I should have snuck up into it, because my idea was what I would do is run for 10 minutes and turn around and run back. How hard can it be? Well, it can be damned hard, I can tell you. Especially if you haven't done any exercise at all for 6 years. 6 years since I'd been in the Army. Hadn't done a damn thing. I was active. I had a motorcycle and I drove out in the desert on the weekends. We used to go hiking in the Sierra Club, go to the beach or whatever. I did all those stuff. But you know, that's not an exercise program. I now know that unless you're a forestry worker, you have to have an exercise program to be healthy. Anyway, I didn't know any of that. I tried to run. I did run 10 minutes and turned around, ran back. It damn near killed me. Oh, it was awful. The pain was, it was really bad. Took me about a month before the pain subsided. If I had just taken up walking for 10 minutes, turned around, walked back, that would have been fine. Then I could have sped it up, maybe taken done a little bit of running, etc. But I didn't do that. I hoed right into it. It took me a month for the pain to subside. It took me 3 months before I could actually call myself a runner. Somewhere along the line, during that first year, I discovered that in 20 minutes, I could run 2.5 miles, 4 kilometers, roughly, every day. And I also discovered that every other day was a bit of a nuisance. So I wound up doing I decided to do 4 times a week. So that was it. That's all I did. Run 4K 4 times a week. So you can imagine my surprise when, after 12 months, I get another memo. The memo says, go do it again if you want. So, and it was free. So I did. I went and had the heart stress test again, which is a good idea, by the way, if you're planning on taking up exercise. So I get the ECG wired up to me, and I do the treadmill thing, get ushered into the doctor's office. He looks at the result. He says, I see you're an athlete. He says, you've got a typical athlete's heart. Athlete. Athlete. Anybody knows me knows I'm not an athlete's asshole, right? But I do now have an athlete's heart. After only 1 year, 12 months of running 4 kilometers 4 times a week, I got an athlete's heart. I've been transformed from a heart attack candidate to a person with the heart of an athlete. So I was convinced, that's it, man. That was it for me. We moved to New Zealand shortly after that. For the next 20 years, that's what I did. That's all I did, exercise-wise, is 4 kilometers 4 times a week. And it really worked. I mean, by the time I turned 50, I did not have a heart attack. In fact, I've never had a heart attack. About the time I turned 50, my wife Gallagher signed us up for a yoga class. And the yoga class was really, really good. The yoga, and once you sort of turn that age, you need a bit more flexibility. You need a bit more balance. You also need a bit more muscle strength. So I took what I learned from that yoga class, and I invented a warm-up exercise, 10 minutes. So I would do a group of 20 press-ups, and then I'd do a bit of yoga, and then I'd do another group of 20, and it's a different yoga, and then a bit more press-ups and some more yoga, and then another lot of press-ups, yes, in groups of 20. And you ladies, if you're going to try this, do groups of 5. That's unless you're a Wonder Woman, you don't want to try to do 20 press-ups if you're a lady. So anyway, I evolved into doing that, and so now I'm 80. I've been doing it for 50 years. I've done it more than 10,000 times, more than 40,000 kilometers, more than the circumference of the earth. And so during that time, I've learned some stuff about exercise, and I'd like to share it with you. For one thing, it makes you really feel good. But aside from that, probably the most important thing I've learned about exercise is this. You cannot store fitness, okay? If you're thinking you're going to exercise, get fit, and then quit, well, you might as well just not bother. Because when you quit, you will lose all of your fitness in an amazingly short time. Exercising isn't like learning Italian, okay? If you're going to take it up, you've got to take it up for life. It's the same as going on a diet. What a stupid idea. If you look in the mirror one day and discover that, oh my God, I've become fat, you don't want to go on a diet, man. That any kind of goal setting when it comes to fitness is a recipe for failure. If you're too fat, it means you're not eating properly, and it means you should change the way you eat. Okay, you should start eating healthy. And if you're so silly that you don't know how to eat healthy, well, then there's plenty of advice out there to tell you what to eat. All right, but you don't just eat healthy for a while and then stop. What a stupid thing to do. Okay. What you do is you eat healthy for the rest of your life. And same with exercise. If you discover that you're unfit. If you go and take a heart stress test, the guy tells you, you're going to die if you don't do something different. Well, then you don't just do it for a while and stop. No. You've got to do it forever. So I've been doing it for 80 years now. I plan to carry on. Right? Why not? And maybe you guys should, you blog buddies, perhaps you should consider taking up exercise if you're not doing it already. I mean, if you do, you'll be able to carry on inventing solar-powered gadgetry until God knows how long. So, thank you for your time.